Hi everyone, from today we will talk about the centroid in the lesson 22. And again, I believe this knowledge already been taught in the physics before. So what's a centroid? Centroid is a body which we'll assume a body is composite of an infinite number of the particles, and each of which have a weight of the dw, and the centroid of the gravity is a point, which locates the resultant weight of the body, and also the summation of the moment of all particles' weight about any point should be the same as the summation, of the moment of the resultant weight. So which means, for example, for any objects, it contains different points. Each point has a dw, And we can replace this by putting the resultant weight as a w here, Also, so for a centroid, we say that the weight on one particle is at the center of gravity, which locates, and the central of gravity of each axis is located at by this equation. We will use this equation to calculate So it's for gravity. What about center of the mass? What we need to do is to just replace a w with m. Let's rewrite it again. And also, you can replace the mass and the weight to find the volume, the area, and the length. So geometry center point of the object, which will be the same as the center of the mass or the center of the gravity, only if the materials are homogeneous. So what does this mean? What does homogeneous mean? Which means an object is made of, a very easy case is an object is made of the same material. So for example, we have the first object is made of the steel. It central point, geometry central point, which will be the middle of the rectangular, which is just the centroid. However, if we have material object made of steel, this part, and feather, the other part, its geometry center is still the same, but its gravity will be definitely closer in the area of the steel. And sometimes, the centroid could be entirely of an object. Okay, for example, for the L shape, centroid could be here, and for a ring, centroid could be here, which means a centroid could be entirely of an object. So how to find the centroid? So first you need to choose a differential element dA at a general point. xy. So if y is expressed in terms of x, we can use a vertical rectangular element. Okay. If x is expressed in terms of y, we can use a horizontal rectangular, which simplify our calculation. And then we can express dA of in dx or dy and determine the coordinate of the centroid x and y and express all variable by integral limits, okay, in terms of x or y, and then we do the integrate. Okay, let's see an example. So example 1, we are given okay, the area as shown, and we need to find central location x and y of the shaded area. Okay. So here's x, here's y. Y equals to x cubic. So we can, let's draw a small rectangular, very small rectangular, okay? Here will be a dx, here will be the y. So first, the y is expressed in terms of x, okay? And here we can use a vertical strip, which is a dx, and dA will be y times dx, which is x cubed in dx. And the centroid for each small will be just x, and the y will be 2 over y expressed in x, which is like here. What's next? Okay, next we need to do we need to calculate the integrate. Okay, so let's calculate, use the equation. So x equals to 0 to 1 So if there's anything you are not sure, okay, about this process, you can feel free to ask me in my office hour. Okay, because this is just a quick application of knowledge you learn from your calculus. Okay. Here is the final answer for x. For y, okay, here is the final answer. Let's see another example. You are given an area you need to find the y, central location of the y. So what we should do, here is the shape.